Kakadosh Boker Tov. We're continuing with Halachot Netilat Yadayim, Siman Kuf Nun Tet, Sif Yud Aleph. This actually could happen, or many times does happen, on the night of Pesach. Maran brings down Akol Ksharim Liten Mayim LaYadayim, Afilu Cheres Shotev Katan, Goy V'Nida. So he says over here, everybody's kosher to place the water in your hands. Which means that they're going to do to you the Netilat Yadayim, even if it's going to be a Cheresh Shotev Katan, a deaf mute, somebody that's mentally incapable, right, or a minor, a Goy or a Nida. And he says everybody is kosher. What does this mean exactly? So he comes and he says, Minhag Sfaradim ve'etot Mizrach, says Halacha Brura, we are permitted to have that a minor will come and do Netilat Yadayim, even in a case where they are the ones that are pouring the water on us. And lechatechila tzarich sheitkaven gam hanotel o hanotel l'shem mitzvah Netilat Yadayim, which means that they have in mind that they're doing it for Netilat Yadayim and they're doing it for mitzvah Netilah. The Ashkenazim want to say that if it's going to be a child which is going to be under 6 years old, they should not have them come and pour the water in the hands of the father. And even according to the minhag, if the child is preparing the water and then afterwards somebody else does it, so therefore for sure lechatechila they could do it. So therefore obviously there's going to be a difference. Many times it's your grandchild, right? Or even if, for example, your little boy that he wants to do it for you, if he's going to be under the age of 6, according to the Ashkenazim, it will be a problem. Nevertheless, even according to Sfaradim, that they are going to be mekel, even if it's going to be less than a 6-year-old that will do it, that's only if he has kavanah l'shem netilah. But if he's doing it, right, and he's just he's washing hands, it's not going to help. And the gadol does not have kavanah bichlal for netilat yadayim, so lechatechila you have to do netilat yadayim again. Now what about the goy? As we just mentioned before, a goy could be the servant. So he says, mutar mi'ikar adin litol mayim al yidei goy or al yidei isha nida. Right? And he says, but nevertheless, it's still better to be tov lachmir b'zeh. Now, if the goy or the nida are just preparing the water and he's doing it himself, then even lechatechila, it's going to be okay. Now, what do we mean now when we said by a woman that she's a nida? So even though mi'ikar adin, he says you could come and you could do it from a woman which is a nida, nevertheless, en la'akel b'zeh la kegon bebito nida, או אחותו או אימו נידה, או באישה נידה יוצא כמים על ידי חברתה. Right? He says you could only be mekel whether it's going to be your mother, that she's a nida, or your sister or your daughter, that they are nidas. Or when one woman is a nida and she's pouring it for another woman, that she's a nida. In all those cases you could be mekel ba beishto nida, but if his person's own wife is a nida, so then you cannot be lenient whatsoever. And to do with another woman also, nachol lachbir b'zeh, right, shelo tishok mayim al yedei ish klal, that a woman should not be poured by a man. And even if she's going to be pure, because it's not darkei tzniut, that it should be done by a man to a woman. So therefore it's very, very important, as we already mentioned, this concept of having in mind that you're doing it for Netilat Yadayim, because that's also going to be Sif Yud Gimel. Sif Yud Bet we're going to skip out, but it's talking about what happens if a monkey is going to do it. Until I don't think that there are a lot of people have monkeys, right, we'll go to Sif Yud Gimel. So Sif Yud Gimel just says, Lechatechila tzarich lechaven hanotel lenetila machsheret la'achila, which means that when we are coming and doing Netilat Yadayim, we have to have in mind that we're doing it, that we're going to wash our hands, we're going to be able to eat, right, by the washing of these hands. And therefore, the kavanat hanotel also helps even lechatechila, even though shelo kiven hanotel. That means even though the person that was being done the Netilat Yadayim does not have a kavanot, but the one that's doing the Netilat Yadayim to the other person has the kavanah that it's going to be done for Netilat Yadayim, that's also going to be enough. That's according to the halacha.